Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for Advanced Star, and I'm on a Google Hangout tonight with my friend and our technology evangelist, Dr. John Fluke. How are you this evening, John?
Doing well, Kevin. Always a pleasure.
Hey, absolutely, my friend. Thanks for doing this. John, one of the things that I was reading the other day on your blog was a really good post about portable hard drives and the value that you see in those as far as the dental practice goes. And I was just wondering, could you kind of elaborate on that a little bit for our viewers?
Sure thing, Kevin. It was an interesting deal, this post. It really kind of it's funny how sometimes ideas work. It started out as simply an idea of putting a date on your hard drives. And the reason I say that is that hard drives tend to last about 5 years, is what the studies show. And after 5 years, a hard drive is really running on borrowed time. And a lot of us are using little portable handheld drives. They're like this. This is one of them. This is a 1 terabyte drive from Western Digital. And a lot of us love these in dentistry because they're small, they're easy. You put your data on here. You can throw it in, your pocket, or you can throw it in your briefcase and bring it home with you. And we don't really think too much about how old those get. And oftentimes I've seen people label them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the like, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. But the post grew out of the idea that a lot of people don't know how old those drives are. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to tell people, not only do you need to put, either a number or the day of the week on there that you use it for, because you should rotate them, but you also ought to put on the date that you started using the drive so that you can get an idea of, okay, it's been, 3.5 years or 4 years. I probably should look at replacing this one. And the whole thing, the blog post, just sort of grew out of that, because as I was talking about these little portable drives, it suddenly dawned on me that a lot of people may not have read anything I've ever written or heard me talk about backups, and there's a lot more to it than just hard drives that you put in your briefcase or your pocket. And so I then talked about the DDS Rescue device that I use that consistently every hour backs up my office, keeps a copy on this on the device itself in my office, as well as sending a copy out to the cloud. And that's a great backup piece. There's online off-site backups. Henry Schein has one. Patterson has one, and those are great options as well. There's also the fireproof and waterproof hard drives from a company called IOSafe that I use, and also there's a kind of a modified RAID, which is a server configuration box called Drobo, and it is multiple hard drives that spreads the data over all the hard drives, and if one fails, you can just replace that one, and the box will then replicate the information on it, and so you've got pristine copies there as well. And so I just began. What started out as a little post just to say put a date on your portable drives became more on, here's some of the things that I use, to ensure the integrity of my data, and it just grew from there.
And I hope it's common sense that dentists and dental practices should be backing up their data, and yet, we always hear the horror stories about the problems that ensue. Can you just give us a quick, again, reminder about the importance of backing up, especially with a natural disaster, or, whatever might happen to the practice?
Sure. The geek joke, but it's true, is the failure rate of hard drives is always 100%. I mean, they're always going to fail at some point. It's never a good time to have a hard drive failure. And if your data is not backed up, it's gone. So, you have to back up. If you don't back it up, you're going to lose it. It's a guarantee. And the other thing that I hear horror stories of is not only, well, I didn't back up, which can be easily rectified. The other thing is people don't check their backups. They just assume that everything is right, and if you don't check and verify that the data is there and that the data works, you're just as dead as you were if you weren't doing it at all. And I've heard lots of horror stories over the years of people who, they had their IT person set up everything, and they've got their little portable drives, and they're using them, and then they have a problem, and they get their portable drives out, and they open the backup folder, and lo and behold, the IT person forgot to tell the backup software what to back up, and they have empty folders. You know, and so all these years people have been thinking they're backing up, and they aren't. So you have to, you know, make sure that the data is there, and then you also have to make sure that the data you have is actually workable data, and both of those are important as well.
It's good advice, and certainly I encourage you to read John's blog post. You'll see a couple of the paragraphs here on the Dental Practice Management site, and then obviously a link over to John's blog where you can read the full thing. So, John, thanks for your time and the technology tip tonight. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Kevin, anytime I can help, you know I'm always here for you.